And we're live. Welcome to the Master Friend Art Stream. Hi everybody, it's me, Master Friend. And welcome. It's a Wednesday night, Wednesday, February 21st, I'd say. It's alright, it's been pretty decent. It's a nice night for doing some pixel arting. I hope everyone's doing alright, because I am, well, I'm tired. I'm tired from, being on the job, I suppose. It's kind of weird. I have a slight cough, so if you hear me coughing a bit, that might be an issue. I'll try to cut out the noise as much as I can, though it's more likely I'm gonna be getting rid of it in the edit on my YouTube channel, or at least the stream archive channel. But yeah, welcome to the cool art stream here. I'm currently about to work on some larger pixel art animation here. Today I'm gonna be doing game development on the rough boss character Nad Greentail, and he is a Tanuki archer who is very fat and very chonky, but he's thick but quick and a very capable archer, and able to move and shoot. At least I want to. Hey, he should stop and shoot, but other than that, that's kind of the point where I want to be working with this. And today is mostly me kind of just looking through some animations that need to be polished, and animations that need to be blocked, or blocked in this case. Just kind of just make sure things are determined in the right spot. And kind of just do a bit of just core sprite work, I'd say. And currently I have a few bits of blocking, but not exact sprite work here. So that's kind of nice. Gonna be just doing that for today, while arrangements of Game Boy music will be playing. But yeah, if everyone's doing alright, I am pretty okay. I'm real tired. I didn't just it, but last week I was at Polar Vortex, and that was a tabletop gaming convention, and it was alright. It was a 3-day weekend. I did my selling there, and kind of did okay. I left my table mats. That was a big problem, where I had a bunch of tabletop gamers, but my big high-ticket tabletop thing that, I sell at most cons, I ran out of, and I was in between ordering them. And I was kind of just coasting off of my stickers, which I did sell a decent amount. And it was pretty okay, but overall was kind of it was a bit of a bust for me personally. I mean, one thing with doing these art sales is kind of like you're not gonna make a whole host of sales, so you kind of need to make do with what you don't have. I mean, what you have, because there's a whole bunch of. It can be easy to kind of just get discouraged that you don't really get a lot of sales. But, I mean, I did get rid of business cards, and that's a big thing that I actually want to do, is just get rid of my business cards. Because I sometimes feel like the QR codes aren't effective at telling people, hey, this is where my Etsy store is, or this is where my online store is. So that's kind of just one of those things where I kind of feel like I don't even know if QR codes are that accessible to people. I'm not even sure. I don't have any objective fact to it, because probably should look at my link tree with that, because the link tree has the actual numbers of who actually clicks, or at least who scans the code and who actually goes to the websites I go to. Okay. And overall, I mean, it's been... I mean, the show was alright. I did more writing than drawing at the show, because I am pushing to do more writing in general. I'm trying to write more Black Mass stuff, like Black Mass story stuff, Black Mass manual stuff. Also, I was saying that I was writing more Black Mass manual stuff at the convention, because I wanted to do a lot more writing. And I was doing a bunch of things with, like, I was making a few drafts for new website content stuff, because I haven't updated that in a year. I'm just gonna say that. That website hasn't been updated in a year. I haven't made any updates on a mailing list in a year, because there really isn't anything significant that we have to talk about. And the only thing I have to go on now is just the lore. So, kind of just been in the process, kind of just writing down, and actually kind of just writing it in a more like narrative sense, because I have a Bible, or at least a series of notes that I wrote down for what I want to see in like Cole's, what I want to see in like the lands and the animals and all that stuff. And a lot of it is very disjointed. Like, I have the ideas, but I don't really have narrative threads to them. A lot of them aren't narratively cohesive, which makes sense, because I'm still making a story with that. And occasionally I feel a little handcuffed when it comes to figuring out what story to tell with that, because I can't confirm that it's actually even going to stay in the game either, because levels can change and all that stuff. But a tip that I was told by another writer friend was to keep it broad enough that you can compromise for changes later. And that's pretty good advice, I'd say. So I'll stick with it until things go south, which is, I'd say, most advice. Just, if you are lost, stick with someone's advice until it kind of just isn't working. You know what? This looks convincing enough, this nose. I've been struggling with this nose for a bit. And kind of just figuring out what the heck I really want to accomplish with this writing. So, a lot of it is getting over my own personal fears of thinking that my lore is stupid. But right now I'm kind of like realizing that most lore in, I'd say, fantasy fiction is stupid. If you actually explain it in sort of a game design doc, or like a pre-production thing, it all sounds kind of stupid. And you won't really know if it's interesting until you actually put it in action somewhere. So I am teaching myself to kind of just stop having so much fear about how cringy my furry lore is. Because that's really what it is. Probably just dealing with my cringe. But honestly, my furry art stuff isn't even as bad as anyone else's, honestly. Like, what I'm making is pretty tame in comparison. So, I don't even know why I'm so worried. So, that's kind of just me always overthinking and making it my personality be the chronic, terminally caring about other people person, where I stand for nothing because I'm always capitulating my view to other people instead of just being confident in my own self. I think it's probably because I don't spend a lot of time really just diving into what I truly want. A lot of my life has just been doing things for other people instead of just doing things purely for me. I mean, Black Mass is sort of for me, but I have a team now, and it's kind of like now you kind of need to make sure that it's accessible to other people who don't know, and that can be difficult to parse because you're so used to working for yourself, working by yourself, and tend to feel like nobody actually understands you. And in some ways it's kind of true. Like, obviously people can't be in your head. They're not gonna be in your shoes all the time. That's nigh impossible to do. So, there's a sense to that. But in terms of, okay. Now let's see if I can't link you cells, because I want the head positions to be at least linked. So put you here, down here, preview here. All right, you're looking good. You're looking much better. You're looking cowardly. So this could look a little rounder. Yeah, this could look much rounder. Then push this out. Yeah, one thing that I keep forgetting to do for a lot of these pixel art is zooming out to make sure the legit, the full picture's not, a complete mess up. So, doing little bits to kind of just figure this out. So far, so good. This is looking much better. I could probably do some tiny little dot things. But maybe it's too much, but Okay. Kind of close. Kind of making it work. Zoom out a little bit more. Let me get rid of this. Push you lower. Push these lower. Push in. You could actually squish it, right? Yeah, you could. Squish. Just to give it a little bit more. Get you a little bit squishy. This will work. Kind of just, these are less blockings and I guess more polishes. Okay. How do I set up the onion skin so it goes 2 more frames? Yeah. Let's see. Frame, onion skin, onion skin, onion skin. Cell properties. No. Well, I know I went like 1 for each side. Maybe have this inside more. By nudge you inner more. Then maybe add a little bit to the belly button. Technically the belly button's turning, so I can get away with it. Nudge in. Alright, real jiggly, at least so far. I need another lozenge. So far I've gotten the basic squish, and now all that's left is to get the tail going. And of course the tail's a giant nightmare with that. Because not only does he have a tail, there's also arrows into tails. I'm gonna leave the tail for last. I also realized that it doesn't look like the hair is going back, or just it's going down. So I think I'm actually gonna do is pull the hair back. Maybe nudge this some more. Okay, this is looking better. Okay, this will work, hopefully. This kind of works. So far, so good with that. But yeah, I do a lot of sprite animation, but I feel like my time's kind of split between doing animations for the game, plus I'm writing, plus I'm doing my convention stuff, plus, you know, working a day job and stuff like that. Yeah, so I could argue I am slightly stretched thin, but there are some things where I probably could do less of. I could do less of, like, posting some casual crap. Like, post on my socials a lot, and it's kind of like, oh hey, here's my latest sketchbook. And I'm not really practicing enough to write lore and stuff like that. Like, actually do some writing and things like that. And whenever I kind of like look in my convention sales and kind of stuff like that, I kind of realize that I feel that I don't actually have anything real to sell. Because I have a bunch of cats, sure. That's about it. That's like a fraction of my art output. I could say that I'm slightly dissatisfied by that, because work on a game, but it's not ready. And as I'm, you know, working on a game that's just not ready to show, I kind of feel a bit impatient. Like, I feel like I'm a little handcuffed in terms of story and game or talk about stuff potential. Like, I can't really just give a lot of information about it, because it can change at the drop of a hat, and I won't know until, you know, you hit the wall and kind of like realize, oh, this feature that I'm interested in implementing won't actually work or isn't actually fun. And I'm kind of like, well, shit. I write this lore stuff about, you know, this character able to do this stuff, and it's kind of like, well then, I probably need to scrap that, because it ain't gonna be in there, really. And, you know, I know about, like, killing your darlings and things like that, but it does make it feel like doing stuff is kind of a waste of time. Crap, did I? You know what? See. Yeah, sometimes if I'm doing a thing and it ends up a waste of time, it can probably get frustrating with that because you end up doing something for so long and it doesn't yield results that you'd like. That feels like a bit of a slap in the face sometimes. So I try not to make extreme promises when it comes to what's actually in Black Mass right now. I know that it's a platformer. I know that it's a stealth game. Hey, Paper Piggy, how's it going? Fuck 'em. I'm just waxing poetic about, the state of Black Mass at the moment, and kind of the waiting with held breath a little at what we're even doing. Because, gameplay stuff, I'm sure that we'll just get down. It's just one of those things where, it's still so early in actually developing the thing that I myself feel like, I can't really write something significant to it because it'll end up being nowhere. And it kind of doesn't matter overall because it's just a fictional story about animals with swords. It can be whatever it needs to be. And I set up Black Mass to be like that, to be whatever it needs to be at the moment. So that's kind of just my personal mind goblin at the moment, is kind of just worrying about possibly disappointing people about what I'm doing when it comes to the silly art I post and whether or not it's actually going with the game that I'm interested in making with Adam. And a lot of it is I don't know, and a lot of it is just constant brainstorming. The sketches I post on Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that, those are sketches that I'm interested in putting in the Black Mass universe. But again, I cannot guarantee that they actually will be in there because I don't even know if the mechanics will even be fun. Again, we're still flying blind. I'm hoping it's fun. I'm animating and making gameplay suggestions of stuff that I would like to see in a game. There's 2D platformer stuff that I'd love to do in terms of just stuff like that. So, that's there. But there's also interactions that I do want to do because a lot of it is old webcomic stuff. How do I organize all that? All my lore or all my all this animation stuff? Because the animation stuff, it's mostly layers. You have a head layer, a weapon layer, or a body layer. This should be body. Bodies and weapons and back. They have body. Tail. How do I organize the lore? Well, to start, I have a bunch of folders. So, any art stuff that I draw, I at least put in a folder. So, if it's something that I know for sure it's going to be relevant in a folder, I will put it there. So, let me see if I can pull out some example, actually. Boom. So, let's see. Come on. It's somewhere. I just need to open it in my Windows folders. So, whatever I have organized here, I put it in my lower folder where I have a big folder that's just Project Black Mask, and this is a general folder that I put all my lore in. And then I put it into a miscellaneous character art, and once I have something that's coherent under a coherent theme, I will also put it under its own folder. So in this example, I have Caudenia. I now call it Caudia. I really should call it different, but Caudia is the land of tales, and basically it's a giant kingdom where the big gimmick is that they have a hierarchy of tales. So you have 9-tailed foxes, but then you also have 1-tailed foxes. So right here, you have 1-tailed foxes. They're of the lowest rank, and then you have the highest rank. You have the 9-tailed foxes, highest rank of them all. And basically their entire hierarchy and lifestyle is all around their tails. And it's basically just me having a bunch of different gimmicks of an animal's tail, where it's oh, you have a tail that becomes a monster, and it's a separate monster with this. And of course you have the Tail Knights, a military unit of knights, or at least soldiers, who use their tails as shields. And it's kind of just one of those interesting little deals when it comes to okay, what the heck could I actually do with a fox? And this all actually just started with basically just a million different ideas. This was my first ever concept when it came to the idea of an animal using their tail as a shield, because from the jump I want to do something with animals that couldn't just simply be done with an elf or something. I kind of have a personal, mindset, design, lore rule that if I design this, fancy army that an elf or a dwarf can do, I'm not thinking creative enough with the animals and stuff like that. And I'm not perfect with that. The art stuff that I do with wolves and mages is not as unique as I'd like for it to be. But the Tail Knights, I'd say, are probably my most unique thing that I've done with this, so I'm pretty happy. My ADHD is so bad, I started a personal server for a series I'm working on so I could lay out ideas a bit more with the forum that I just have myself in. It's been helping for my writing a lot. Yeah, actually, honestly, I will say just the big pro tip with that is to figure out what works with you. If a Discord server works for you, a private Discord server, that's fine. I keep a bunch of folders, and then I would have Word documents aren't in here, but I would also have Word documents, well, in my case, LibreOffice documents in here, and I would just write a bunch of stuff down. I also have Google Docs, so, if I write in my phone, it exports to Google Docs, and then I'll just copy and paste the Google Docs stuff into my phone and stuff like that. I've recently been told about a app called Milanote, and I haven't tried it out yet, but a few webcomic artists I've spoken with tell me that it's been really helpful, so I want to try that out just to see if it can help my own. I actually don't know if it's ADHD myself, but as a kid I was diagnosed with Asperger's, so it's sort of in that ballpark. So, Milanote is great? Okay. Alright, another endorsement. Fantastic. Yeah, because I bounced off things like Notion and Trello. And I think it's just the difficulty of setting it up. I think if it's difficult to just whip it out and type, I tend to have a harder time sticking with it. Like Google Docs is pretty decent. I just type it down. It's fast. Or I'll use a notes app in my phone. Or I will pull out, LibreOffice. Just, type it in. I end up going on hour-long things of it. Big projects make my head spin. Okay, yeah, I totally understand that. Yeah, big projects can be a slog to get through. But one thing that helps make these big projects manageable is to break down your project into smaller and smaller goals. So, in my case, my plan is just to get one character in a animation state. So currently I'm working on a boss character, and you break it down by, okay, I'm going to work on one animation, which is the run animation. Previously I worked on a basic walk animation, and next I worked on a shot animation. And then once you're in the work on this tiny aspect of animation, you break it down to, other steps. First, I'm going to block it in where I can see, okay, what can I get away with not drawing? So, in my case, I wanted Nad to have the ability to shoot in all directions in the air. So, I did a lot of copying and pasting of his main body. So, it's just him using his main body. And then he's able to I reuse the shot for his top body. I separate the body from his arms. And I do that where I already had his shot animations done because I made the shot animations previously. So if you can find a way to save yourself work, that can make a giant difference into how long you'll be able to work before you burn out. So you're not drawing anything new, you're trying to see where can you copy and paste. So this reuses a lot of old animations, Tail Attack, and I didn't even finish this, it's just a sloppy sketch here. But because I reuse his idle animation, I know exactly what new drawings I need to make. Same with the roll. I reuse the roll animation, right? I reuse the initial crouch for his jump. And I could probably also copy this here. And if you hold the control key while while clicking a frame in Sprite, you can just automatically copy a frame no matter what. And because I'm able to do this, I could probably change you. Alright, that actually looks better. But yeah, you want to figure out ways that you can just save yourself drawing in the start so you'll have energy to actually do your drawing. Which sounds a whole lot like making sense, but what I'm saying is when you're working, try to work smart and not hard. Where if you can find a way to not draw as much so you can save time on the actual drawing here. So with this roll animation, this is a sloppy block, and then you are just doing a basic drawing here where it's just a basic line art sketch, nothing's tightened or anything. That's also another thing that I will say. Don't get to your tightening phase until you finish a block-in phase. That's what sketching's for. like when you're doing pixel art, it's okay to start with a ugly first drawing or make an underdrawing. If you have a process, having that process will at least get your your inside the monkey brain to stay calm and not be confused at what to do, because you've already made your process in patterns. And obviously making patterns is, it can be a detriment. Like if you have bad habits and you want to break them, that's a whole different ball game with that. But if you have if you can make a process for just drawing and working, that will make things manageable for you. So in my case, I like to plan my animations out before I color them, and that's mostly because I went to 2D animation in college, and that's how I worked. I don't know anything that's smarter, and if there's a faster way to do it, I've never been explained it, and I've never really looked up a tutorial. I'm like, okay, how can I make my layout faster? And a lot of stuff like that is me just reusing stuff when I need to. And I'm also able to reuse these arms. Now these arms are just these arms, but I rotate them 90 degrees. And I rotate them 90 degrees so the pixel ratio or pixels won't get jacky. Like if I rotated these in a 45 degree angle, the pixels will definitely get messed up and it'd be a problem. So I probably should at least copy you, get you here. Okay. But yeah, when I'm rotating it and I'm trying to do the, angled shots, the pixels definitely get jumbled, so I actually now have to clean up the pixels when I go. So that'll be an issue. But I'll do that much later because, this is not the time to be doing that. Yeah, all I need to do is just rotate you in the right angle. Place you where you need to go. And hopefully it at least looks correct, or at least close enough. It slightly jumbles. I need to rework that. Get down here. And now it doesn't move when shot. So I can reduce the loop frames here, which tags in Sprite is probably a giant godsend for me because I'm able to loop animations in the tags instead of like normal where they'll just go through the entire animation. And since I can loop in tags, I can just build sprites in the animation frame. That's been great for kind of just making games, or at least making game sprites in my case. And then, okay, the body will just be here. It looked like this. Fantastic. And of course, rechange the head. Again, I am not making any new drawings just yet. I'm trying to see where's everything placed so I know exactly what I need to do. And I would do that for other shots. Do it for a down diagonal shot, down shot here. And there's plenty of other animations that I have a list of animations that I plan to do with my ref sheets here. So I have sheets right here where a bunch of pre-made sketches that I've done as I go. And I think I have a few more of these sketches, but I use Pure Ref to kind of just arrange my stuff here. And I also have a picture of Metal Man because that's the idea of Nad's boss fight. He's sort of a robot master where he's a human-sized enemy, and you have to memorize his more complicated pattern compared to the bear who's larger, more lumbering, and has less moves and less complicated AI. It has the basic search and destroy, according to Adam. Actually, I don't know if my programmer put the bear in yet, but that's whenever he gets the time. He's got his own life and job stuff to deal with, so I don't know when he works on stuff. It's literally just whenever he has spare time, he drops me a message that says, "Hey, this is what I've been knocking out." And I say, "Yeah, cool. I'm in the middle of a convention. I'll reply to this when I get home." And he shows me a few videos of things actually working. That's been pretty nice. In fact, I wonder if, one of my latest videos here, I wonder if one of Adam's, I think I have one of the videos that he's shown me. Alright, so here's one of the animations that he's been working on. Alright, so this is in color for Adam's sake. I don't plan to, well, there is an initial plan to make it in color, so this is a complete falsehood. But this is Adam's progress when it comes to the stealth mechanic. And Goal has the ability to change himself to be invisible. And he's capable of not being seen by the enemy. And basically he will jump out of stealth when he's jumping. Like, he's able to jump, he loses the stealth ability, which means enemies can see or smell him. So that's part one of the stealth mechanics with that, plus the platform and all that stuff. And so far that's been done. And then everything else is just me just making the enemies to patrol and stuff like that. There are other things I've been tackling. I've been tackling a of course. I've also been tackling opening a I've been working on a manual here, and basically I'm in the process of making, or at least writing, a manual for Black Mass, and I'm using Clip Studio Paint, and it has a nice 3D preview tool for binding and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. It's a nice thing, and I would love to have that as like a little Kickstarter extra. You have like a little manual, or at least a physical box. That's the dream. You know, I'm a comic book artist, zinester at heart. Well, not really a zinester. I haven't made a zine in a while, but I'm self-published, so I don't have a publisher. I go to someone else to print my stuff. Though I am trying to rectify that. I'm working on another, book project. It's not a comic project, but I want to at least have another book thing work. So that's what I'm tackling so far. Now we're back to figuring out what the heck I need to do at the moment. So I'm at a good spot with the running. And the walk is pretty straightforward. He's able to walk, and then he can aim backwards. And jumping's blocked in. Blocking is down. I'll probably get rid of it. I'll just delete this frame. So I probably would use this one. This one's better, I'd say. I think I'll just use this one instead. Because while this kind of shows that he's blocking, this one kind of just indicates. Well, actually, no. How large is this specifically? Because that's also another possibility that this might be too large. Let's see, 26, 33. I want to at least have this fit inside. In fact, I probably could just roll this backwards here, then move you in. There we are. That looks better. But yeah, I can't say doing a big project with ADHD. I'm gonna watch a movie and get comfy for the night, but I'll be working. Hey, great to see you. I wonder what movie you're watching. I think I've recently seen. Actually, I haven't seen a new movie besides. I have seen Shin Kamen Rider lately, but I've mostly been reading comics these days. I've been reading Attack on Titan for not the first time, but I'm actually diving into Attack on Titan. So I'm only at first I was watching the anime on Netflix, then I fell off of it because I just didn't have time. So a while ago I canceled Netflix, so I don't have Netflix anymore, so I don't really watch anime these days. But I'm able to read manga. I've been reading One Piece. I finished Baroque Works recently, and I think the next one's Skypiea, if I remember right. So I'll be tackling that, and just been reading mostly manga because it's easier for me. I can take a little manga volume at my job, and I can just read it while I'm doing my hurry up and wait thing. And that's been all right for now. And right now I'm currently reading Tales from the Crypt. And that is a bunch of it's an EC comics collection with Wally Wood. And that's been pretty cool to kind of just see Wally Wood's artwork, because Wally Wood is a great inker that I can't believe that kind of actually, it's one of those things where you see an artist and you're actually inspired instead of intimidated. It's a difficult thing to find for me personally, because I always feel like I am definitely not as good as I'd like to be, or at least as good as people say that I am. where it's like, okay, everybody says, "Oh, you're really good." And I'm kind of like, "Bro, have you seen my timeline? Like, I have so many freaking killers out there, and I'm some jackass who makes cartoon line art, and it's difficult to not fall into this dumb despair of, yeah, you're never gonna get as good as this. Like, fucking give up." And I am a giant quitter. Like, I don't care if, I care a lot about wasting my time because I'm the type of person who constantly thinks about, I guess, death and fail. Well, not really. I don't think about it. No, I think about death. But who am I kidding? I do think about death. I think about not doing everything that I could, not having all my stuff done. And I'm not as, I guess, I'm not a person who's going to be going with the flow. Like, I'm not like a person who, I have no chill, which contributes to my work ethic, but it also contributes to my stress, I'd say. Like, all that stress, anxiety, inner bottling frustration and rage is constantly there because I'm anal about a lot of stuff. And I'm trying to teach myself to not be as anal about stuff. But of course, life, obviously life is more than just working. Unfortunately, working is the only thing I have going on for me. Like, all of my friends have jobs or they have kids. And there's no real place to kind of just do stuff without blowing a lot of cash. Like, I like going to conventions, but I prefer tabling at conventions overall. Like, I don't really like going cosplaying or... Well, actually, I've never cosplayed because I never felt like I had the body to cosplay. Like, I'm a chunky dude. And that's probably a confidence thing because, you can cosplay as whatever body type you need because, cosplay is for everyone, they say. But you still need to learn how to craft stuff, though. And I don't have the time to craft things. I already barely have time to draw things. So... this'll work. I think I'll probably just let you this. This kind of works. You tail attack. And also another way to kind of just make sure that you're organized is to kind of figure out, okay, what if I had to eliminate, if I was on a heavier deadline, like if I had to get this done in a week, what are the essentials that I absolutely have to get done? And that is shooting his arrow and being able to jump and shoot. So let's see if jumping and shooting is at least in a complete state. And what I'm actually going to do is actually change you up because I'm thinking that he would actually have special arrows. Oh, new layer. Trick arrows. Now put them here. boom. Let's see. Put the trick arrows here. Put the trick arrows here. Make this a regular arrow. Because I think for the gameplay design, I want to ease the player into working with, like, okay, you are a normal character with normal arrows. And then we start just pulling out the gimmicks of, oh hey, this guy's a gimmicky little trickster. He's trying to get you and throw you off. So let's not immediately screw him over just yet. All right. Hide the trick arrows. It's difficult to make pyramids, say. You're 2 out. You'll work. This needs to be boring enough that the arrow needs to be boring enough to make you believe, okay, this guy has a basic shot. And I'm just gonna watch this shot. Project management is a whole different beast, I'd say. I'd say one thing when it comes to, I think, learning how to be a successful artist, quote unquote, is project management, time management. What can you do in your spare time? Do you know what you can what activities you think you're wasting time on that you can make for, art, doing more art? Because I'd say the big secret, I guess I'm gonna be all like motivational speaker person here. I'd say the big secret to making, or at least project management, is to mark down and be non-negotiable about the block in time in your day that you're doing. So if you say, okay, I want to do a sketch every day, well, that's kind of nebulous. That's not very good for your monkey brain. You're never going to remember that. But if you tell yourself at 7 p.m. after work, exactly 7 p.m., you will draw. You will block out and you will set your life up so that you will never miss that 7 p.m. time. You could be like 7 p.m. to 7:30 or 7 p.m. to 8. However that works, 7 p.m. on the dot. Eventually, your brain's gonna be like, okay, this is the pattern I'm in now. 7 p.m., it's drawing time. And do that for, I'd say, a week. Do it for a week. that will get your brain acclimated to it. And because it's only an hour or only 10 minutes, like make it a short enough amount of time that your brain's not going to object to it. And set your day up so no one can bother you. No one can contact you. If you have your phone on, turn off your phone at 7 p.m. If you have a date at 7 p.m., say no to every date. Say no to a doctor's appointment. Well, I wouldn't say that, but try to reschedule. Try to fight to negotiate alternate dates besides that 7 p.m. date. Sometimes I'll go to a therapist and I will tell her, hey, I can't talk at 7 p.m. How about 6 p.m. or 8 p.m.? And, we'll negotiate and that'll be better. Doctors and, important people are reasonable like that. If it's like an event or something like that, you might not go to that event because that's your arting time. And of course, it's not an exact formula. If you have a day job at 7 p.m., that's not doable. You'll need to do a different time, like 2 a.m. or if you have to wake up earlier, you probably will need to do that sometimes. Another thing, so this is one of those rise and grind things where a lot of people take that to an unreasonable extreme, when what they really mean is that you should at least figure out a way to make that time work for you. The reason why you have a lot of those rise and grind people being oh, I wake up at 6. No, I wake up at 3 in the freaking morning and I work till midnight or whatever. It's kind of that's dumb, and most people can't do that. But most people do wake up an hour early before work to either get some coffee or shower in the morning, or even get some breakfast. I'm talking about myself, really. I shower in the morning, I get breakfast, and I try to meditate. Not really meditate, but kind of just try to sit with my thoughts and try to just be quiet with things if I'm not rushing, because I just don't want to get up out of bed. But usually, if I wake up on time, actually on my alarm, I do have meditation time where you don't have to be in a lotus pose, but you could just sit at your table. You could even have your coffee brewing, even while you're waiting for your coffee to brew or your tea to boil, just sit down, don't do much, and kind of just get your thoughts, get your cobwebs out. You'll probably be waking up from, personal stress dreams, or you're trying to hyper yourself up for the day, or you're introverted and you're trying to put your mask on so you can be on and stuff like that for social interactions, things like that. And that's usually what that quote unquote meditation would usually be for, is kind of just getting your brain to just be ready to take on the shitty day. Well, don't call it a shitty day. That's one thing that I'm also trying to just get over, is that negative thing of thinking that everything is going to suck when it's probably not gonna suck. Obviously, everything can't be absolutely positive all the time, but things don't suck all the time. So that's one thing that I try to make sure of, is just saying, all right, you're out of bed. That means that you're able to do what you want to do. Today, you need to do your day job. I know you hate it, but it helps you pay for stuff. It helps you pay your bills. It helps you get extra money to stickers or go to conventions and do other fun things. And it's only for, say, 4 hours. And then you'll cut off. Then you'll go back another 4 hours. Or, it's only for 8 hours. It's only from like 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And you're kind of quietly talking to yourself about this to kind of just get yourself understanding the day. Like, this is also a nice time to kind of like plan, well, not plan your day, but kind of just checklist the things that you're up to doing. Like, if you have a calendar book, you would be writing down what you want to do in your day and getting yourself to sort your mind is very helpful in terms of just life management, really. Not just time management or art management, just life management. But I've been on a tangent. So after you pretty much just block in your time, which was what this initial conversation was about, when you block in your time and decide that hour is dedicated to this, nothing else, you end up bending your day around that hour. And it makes getting stuff done much easier. And the hard part is done. You actually have decided to sit in your desk. There are other things you can do to prepare yourself. You can prepare your space for, doing drawing. Say I have my stream here. In the morning, I will do little pre-prep stuff, like I will have OBS open before I put my computer to sleep. Or I will have OBS open, I will have Sprite open, I will have my reference folder open, I will have VLC music playing, I'll have Chatterino open. I will have all the stuff that I'm set up to get my things going, just to make it easier to just get started. Another way that you'll end up not wanting to do things is you spend a lot of time preparing to get your work done instead of doing the work. And that also just opens up windows for you to kind of just say, all right, this is kind of a pain in the butt and I don't really want to do anything. And currently I'm doing it right now. I'm kind of talking while procrastinating and not really drawing and talking really. But that the basic idea with that is that you are making yourself more prepared and pre-organizing so that when you actually do get into you're drawing now, you get into the flow of your work much faster than if you spent so much time getting your supplies together or opening your folder, waiting for Clip Studio or Photoshop to open with their stupid loading screen, or even waiting for your computer to turn on, waiting for Discord to go, or you get a Discord message, you gotta answer it. If you can, set up Discord to not boot when you turn on your computer, so you're not tempted to just look at your Discord messages. Don't open email just yet. Just hide your email. Maybe you can have the Twitch dashboard when you're prepped for streaming and stuff like that, but other than that, try to reduce the amount of distractions that you have to get yourself started working ASAP. Another thing that I could probably recommend in terms of work tips is so you have all your stuff prepped, you have your block of time. So once you have your block of time, then you're going to break down, what you need to do in like a broad, little workflow time. So this part of that will take a lot of personal experimentation. I don't know how you draw. I just know how I draw. Like everything I say, take it with a grain of salt because I can't help you help yourself. Like you gotta be the one to get yourself to know what the heck that you want out of your drawing stuff. Like this is that moment where I'm like, okay, you do actually need to pull yourself by your bootstraps. That sort of thing. Because I personally cannot help you with what you need to do for your art thing. So if you want to make an animated short, well, you're gonna need to plan, what's the story of your short? What's your short about? What do the characters need to do in your short? What the characters interested in doing your short? What's gonna stop your characters from doing what your characters want in that short? Figuring out that story like that, and then you're going to be planning the broad strokes plot beats where you're storyboarding. You're not really making animation, but kind of just making storyboards and little comic strips. Gotta just boom, boom, boom. This happens, and this happens, and this happens. And you're able to visually see that. And after that, you will actually get into refine that animation. That part is where you will just be sketching and laying out where those movements will go. So you'll probably be doing stuff like this initially and not doing any polishing, just little animations. And you'll just be doing that. And afterward, you'll probably be polishing like the next day. And the next day, you'll be coloring it. And the next day, you'll have maybe like an 11-second scene after 3 months or a month or something like that. And a lot of it is, you get faster as you go. So don't get discouraged if you're not cranking out a TikTok animation every week, because one, most of those like TikTok animators have a team. Like if you're watching Chicken Nuggets and you're seeing like an animation every day, you're kind of like, that person has a team. Like that person has an actual full-blown team. If we're seeing Hella Boss every month, you're like, that's an entire team that's also working on like another cartoon. Like they're good. You are probably one person. Don't feel bad that you can't crank out like full-blown, full-color animations. Like I'd say most animators on YouTube just drop out storyboard slideshows and animatics because full-blown animation is unviable alone. Well, it's not unviable, it's just timely full-blown animation is unviable. I mean, it's doable if you never sleep, but sleeping is good. You should sleep, because if you don't sleep, your metabolism will actually get worse. There's actual, I think, medical science that says that the less you sleep, the less fat you're able to burn, because it's using its fat reserve. You're using your fat reserve to have the energy to stay awake. So you will burn less fat because the body's telling itself, hey, you need to stay awake. So I'm going to use your fat to give you the rest of the energy that you need. And you will just end up like being, oh snap, crap. Okay. But yeah, you'll end up just getting fatter when you'll just end up getting fatter because you sleep less and you're not, you're not taking care of your body. So you gotta remember, like, actual, I guess, make sure you take care of your body, drink water, take your vitamins, all that Hulk Hogan stuff, and make sure that you don't die for this job. As cool as doing art is, it's not worth dying for. It really isn't. But you really shouldn't be dying to do more cartoons of animals, because that's entirely dumb. So don't. And that's all I can really say is, you see that super thing? Don't do it. Don't do unhealthy things to your body that's going to end up killing yourself because you're unwilling to compromise your I'm losing my train of thought with this, but because you don't want to compromise, like, I think to put it shortly, because you don't want to rest, you're putting yourself in more danger. I'm trying to do a bunch of dumb words with dumb thing, but that's basically the gist of what I'm saying is, it's good to not do insane stuff on your body just because you're passionate about working on a thing, your dream project. Obviously, having passion is good, but having passion will make you vulnerable to being taken advantage of by assholes with money who want to work you to death. Because you're passionate. Crap, come on. Oh, that's why. Yeah, it's always difficult to really remember which layers are actually on. Okay, trick arrows off. Okay. All that's left is that diagonals, and then that should be good. Empty frame. Bada boom. Yeah, I think I took some con funk last weekend because I've been slightly coughing, but it's starting to get worse over Tuesday. I hope I don't have COVID. I mean, it hasn't been bad enough that I would think it's COVID, but I have been seeing a bunch of people coughing, especially near my table. My table's right next to the bathroom. They just had a bunch of coughing people, and those cough particles stain the air. That's That's science, I think. Cough like cough air and germs and stuff actually float in the air for, I don't remember the exact number. I think maybe for like an hour and a half or something like that. I could look it up. I'm probably spreading misinformation right now. Should I look it up? Should I just dive into a wiki dive with this? How long can germ particles stay in the air? Yeah, let's do this. Northwest Medicine. Yes, we're just going to educate ourselves. So I believe this is the University of North something. Northwestern Medicine, I think. Alright. Most common way to spread illness, direct contact with people. Viruses can last up to 24 hours on the surface. That's nice to know. If you don't disinfect those doorknobs, they'll just be there forever. Well, not forever, but they'll just be there the entire day. Obviously, wash your hands good. Nobody fucking covers their mouth when they sneeze because life sucks. When you cough, roughly 3,000 droplets of saliva can be projected from your mouth at 50 miles an hour. That's as fast as a car. Particles from your sneeze can travel up to 26 feet. Droplets can linger in the air for up to 10 minutes. Alright, so I was completely wrong with this. It's not an hour, it's just 10 minutes. And wear a face mask, spread germs, wash your hands with soap, water after coughing, sneezing, don't touch objects with hand-aid hands. Yep. University of Northwestern Medicine. Because it states some sources, yeah, this is correct. So yes, me being the absurd hypochondriac, and not really hypochondriac, like, yeah, I'm not really that much of a hypochondriac, but in terms of me being suspicious on why I'm sick right now, you know, that is likely the culprit with that, so. What I could do with this, actually. Let's see. Because what I could do here is actually make it so make it so the arm's actually overhand. So I kind of just give it a bit of a give it a bit of a cool factor with that. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I think I know what I can do with this. B. and erase the rest of this. That looks fine. They probably actually do this. And just copy this aspect. Go back to here. Bada boom. It matches a little bit more. Alright. Now you out here. Now it looks like the actual proper bowstrings here. I feel like these could be linked, or they were supposed to be linked. Why is it 4 frames, I guess? And Final Fantasy Legends is another game that I'm like, I really should be playing right now. I hate it when I'm coughing. You know, sometimes I wonder if I should just not stream when I'm sick. I always just wonder that. Because I think that's kind of just one of those things where I kind of don't need to stream when I'm sick. I probably shouldn't, because I can always stream Thursday or tomorrow. Like, it's not that big of an issue. Ah, yes, I know what I need to do. Okay. What I need to do is to put you diagonal. That should work. Hopefully that's a good radius. Right. Ah, good enough. Again, I am trying to block this in. Okie dokie. Sometimes I feel like I don't have as much done as I'd like, but I am making progress, or at least enough progress to where, you know, I've made more progress on this than I have for the past 4 months of this so far. Forward, diagonal up, straight up, diagonal down, straight down. And then other directions, we can just get him, flipped. I don't want to do any, like, insane trick shots where he's able to, like, fire back. Nah, I'm not. I don't have time for that. Alright. But also, where's his special animation? I could swear there's a special shot. Where's the arrow twirl? Like missing the arrow twirl. I could swear. Is it in the old sprites? I think it's still in the original clip. I think it's still in the original Clip Studio Paint file. So for those who don't know, I used to animate the sprites in Clip Studio Paint. And that's what I was using before I used a sprite, because I didn't even know what I was supposed to do. So yeah, where's the animation thing? Oh, okay. How about this? Ah, there we are. Alright. Well then, this is kind of an issue, because... Got it. Maybe I can export the, maybe I could export the GIF. And then edit it. Error twirl. That's why you don't delete your old files, kids, because you never know when you're like, oh, I had this a long while ago. Arrow. It's spelled arrow, not arrow. Because if you have old animation that you don't know if you did it or not, that's going to screw you really bad. Shoot, I should have gotten rid of the floor. Export animation. GIF. All the same. The one thing that's pretty bitchin' about a sprite, because it's made by Pixel Animation animators for Pixel animators, is that you can import GIFs. Uh-oh. Yeah. Can you... So you can't just import them... Wait! I can export the cells. I think I can get this working. Oh. This is so badly named, but I don't know, and I kind of don't care. But I'm lucky that I at least kept this. Okay, I'll select this folder. Call it Arrow. Whatever works. Do it. Shoot. Wait. Okay. Oh. Whoa. Shoot, I spilled my water. Oh boy. All right. Right now, I have 7 frames here, which is convenient for me. Because I think I can work with this now. I'll have this flip horizontal. Horizontal. Then I could probably import these frames here. Copy. Copy. Use the where is it? I think I got it. I'll just do like up to 15. And then probably just add 16. All right. Oh. All right, so I'm kind of in just massive ultra instinct mode because I'm now solving a problem that frick. I'm now solving a problem that is now kind of just teasing my brain here. Damn it. I might be able to work with this. Now just indicate. Almost got it. What the hell was that? Did I? So that's where the tip went. Alright. Next. Get the twirl. Alright. Grab. Alright. Oops. Special shot wind up. All right. I'll do that. Huh, why is it like that? Don't know. And that's an issue. Edit, flip horizontal. Copy. Alright, these are slightly working. So I don't know where the heck. Okay. I probably need to refine this, but knock arrow. Probably doesn't need animation like this, but could work. Load. Arrow. This is gimmicky, but it works. Oh yeah. I do need to flip them horizontal because programmer needs them facing, like all moving sprites need to be facing a singular direction. Okay. Wrap it mess up here. Okay. All right. We do this one thing at a time. Don't save. Don't save. Okay. Yeah, again, a lot of this is me importing my old art. And again, I'm not drawing. I am just lurking around to see if I already drew it in the past, in a past life. Because if you can get away with not drawing again, that's pretty hype. Obviously, you do need to draw eventually, but this at least helps with all the difficult issues when it comes to thing like pull out item. I think what I'll do is I'll change you into just digging deep into his tail. This works, but it's not perfect. This could be reworked into something better. You know what? I'll do something different with this. Empty frame. Oh, that's funny. Rename new tag as special shot. Okay, and then we're going to just simply duplicate you. I probably just delete this frame. Looks a giant tonger. Then I'll do the first we'll make it cheese. Then we'll kind of like give it a bit of a swirl. They kind of just say, yeah, it's spinning. Link you, give it a fast rotate. Make frame. I should be using shortcuts, but alright, this is kind of working. It's not as snappy as I'd like. I could probably do something where it looks cleaner. Doesn't really look like he's spinning a thinner stick, though. But I will do this. Yes, we're just going to bend this shit so much. Now it just looks like an erect dick. Why? Because I'm insane. Yeah, I'm kind of just losing focus at the moment. But I have made a lot of progress, I'd say. This has been a decent amount of progress with this. I think if you play it together, like if you played it together, he pulls out an item, slow pull out, it can be an arrow, a bomb, whatever. He twirls an arrow, spins, this is a special shot, boom, special shot, boom, and then Adam can add like special effects to that to say, yes, this is a special hot shot, don't be in front of it when he shoots. And then I'll probably duplicate this as I go. And then he can move as he goes. Okay. Okay. Ah, that's where I messed you up. Straightforward. You probably won't have special shots for strafing forward, but you know, it never hurts to have them. It's entirely possible that I'll cut animations. Yeah, I closed this because I spilled water on my paper. But I think for now I'll probably just wrap the stream. I sort of got stuff done, but a lot of it is just giving away personal advice of life skills and things like that that I'd say is a good, a good life advice thing. Probably clip that so everyone can see. It's difficult to know what to really talk about. So, if anyone has questions, I'm happy to talk about just things. I actually would rather talk than draw sometimes. But I don't want to be a just talking streamer because I have other things of value, I'd say. But yeah, I think for now I'm just gonna wrap the stream. A little tired. It's 9 p.m. and I have an early day tomorrow, so thanks for stopping by the Massive Fan Art stream. I've been good here, and see you next Wednesday, where I believe it'll almost be my birthday. I'm gonna be 32 on March 3rd, so probably the Sunday of the next week. So might do either a birthday stream or maybe 2 other streams to kind of just say, hey, we're just gonna celebrate some stuff. Who knows? I'm not gonna fret too hard about it, so that's neither here nor there. But yeah, follow me on social media. I'm all over the place. Just socials. I hope this command goes. It probably won't, but who knows? Are you working? Yes, no? Balls. Okay. But yeah, follow me on Twitter at MassiveFran. Follow me on Instagram at MassiveFran. And, follow the Black Mask Game at Black Mask Game. Or even just the website, blackmaskgame.com, which I'm very interested in updating. But I'm going to get that down sooner or later. But yeah, Black Mask Game on Twitter, Black Mask Game on Instagram, and MassiveFran all over the place because, I'd like to keep myself in the same username. Makes it easier. So yeah, thanks for stopping by, and I will see you all next week.